The 3-1 lead, the Icarus of the NBA. You ride high thinking you have the power, thinking you have control, thinking that victory is a certainty and failure is impossible, believing that the next win will come on cruise control. Then you cruise for too long, get too close to the sun, and watch your wings burn. But as they burn up in flames and as you drop to the ground, you see the birds around you taking their time, not getting too high to get burned like you did, and not staying too low to become prey, but applying the right amount of pressure, knowing when to catch the wind at the right moments, and understanding how to see through the blinding light or fight through the raging storm. Yes, you were great. Yes, you were dominant. But the issue is that it's past tense. You were these things, but the birds around you, they are those things. And while you slowly fall to your imminent doom, you are faced to accept the reality that you are now ingrained in history as what not to do. Everything you did before, the history you made, the dominance you showed, gone. The blemish in what should be perfection, the stain that will go down in history and possibly will cement the victor as the greatest of all time. I'm Just Drew, and this is how the Warriors blew a 3-1 lead.
Bothered by Lue. Iverson. How about that? Steps over Tyronn Lue.
Before we get into the video, I just want to say that I am writing this before the outcome of the Warriors and Rockets Game 7 has been decided. I guess that means that if the Warriors choke, I'm basically a genie and can see the future and should become a gambling addict. Just kidding, don't do that. Don't give paid donations to those gambling websites just to lose your 15-leg parlay. Instead, give your very easy and free donation to me, Daddy Drew, with a like, comment, and subscription. I have an ever-growing catalog of basketball bangers in this sad, sad world with ESPN reporters who know basketball as well as I know how to play the harmonica. Who even plays the harmonica anymore? That's sad, man. I'm sad now. Like and subscribe to fix that. First, let me take y'all back to the 2015-16 NBA season. Over in the East, the Cavs were running it at number 1. The Raptors were the 2nd seed in the East and were still cementing themselves as the LeBronto Raptors. Isaiah Thomas was an all-star on the Celtics. The Hawks still had Paul Millsap, Al Horford, Jeff Teague, and Kyle Korver. Derrick Rose and Jimmy Butler were still on the Bulls. Kemba Walker and Al Jefferson had the Hornets as the 6th seed. Paul George wasn't podcasting yet. Andre Drummond was still mastering the craft of grabbing his own rebounds off of his own misses. Giannis was still frail and skinny in his sophomore year of the NBA. The 76ers had the 2nd worst record in the NBA, falling 1 loss shy of tying number 1, which was the 1973 76ers. Out west, the Warriors were absolutely running things, with the Kawhi-led Spurs following closely behind. The Thunder still had their core in Russ and KD, while Lob City still ran wild. Dame and CJ McCollum were emerging as a star backcourt in Portland, and Dirk and the Mavs were slowly fading out of the picture. Oh, and the beard was beginning the stages that would soon lead to him becoming one of the greatest scorers of all time. DeMarcus Cousins was still giving the most violent buckets on the Kings, the brow refused to cut it, and Kobe Bean was still playing, though it was his last season. Not gonna lie, the nostalgia is kind of hitting me right now, and I understand the people who are stuck in 2016 to this day.
To this day! To this day!
The 2015 to 2016 Warriors will probably go down as the greatest NBA team of all time. They were coming off of an already historic season. In the 2014 and 2015 season, the Warriors finished 67-15, tied for the 6th best record in NBA history at the time. They led the league in points per game, field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, and assists, while also having the statistically best defense in the league. On top of that, Steph Curry fully emerged, winning the MVP and breaking the record for most 3-pointers made in a season. The Warriors would go on to complete this historic season, beating the LeBron-led Cleveland Cavs in 6 games, but nobody was expecting an already all-time season to somehow be improved upon and etched into history for the foreseeable future in the following year. The 2016 NBA season will be a year of record holding for the Warriors. First and foremost, we have the greatest Mike Breen bang of all time introduced that year, and it all started when the Warriors had a timeout and decided not to use it.
They do have a timeout. Decide not to use it. Curry, way downtown. Bang!
Second, Steph tied the then record for most threes made in a game at 12. Third, Steph Curry absolutely shattered the very record he set the year before in threes made in a season, hitting 402 that year. Fourth, and I'm gonna sound like a broken record, Curry was named the first ever unanimous MVP in NBA history. Granted, LeBron or MJ probably should have won the MVP unanimously in previous years. That season, he was the scoring leader, averaging 30.1 points per game on 50-40-90 shooting, and the steals leader, averaging 2.1 steals per game, while also leading the league in win shares. He was also the first player in NBA history to join the 50-40-90 club while leading the league in scoring. Fifth, The Warriors set the record for the longest home win streak in NBA history, as well as the most regular season road wins in NBA history. Lastly, and most importantly, the Warriors finished 73-9, marking themselves as the greatest regular season team of all time. Additionally, they again led in points per game, field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, and assists. In the first round of the playoffs, the Warriors would storm past the Rockets in 5 games, with Curry missing 2 games due to a knee injury. Then the Warriors would do the same to the Blazers in the Western Conference semifinals, with Curry missing the first 3 games. After 2 gentlemen sweeps, with their unanimous MVP missing half of the games, it really seemed that the Warriors were unstoppable. It seemed that any team that would be put in front of them would shrivel up and wither when it mattered most, until they ran into the Oklahoma City Thunder in the Western Conference Finals. In the first 4 games of the Western Conference Finals, the Thunder completely overwhelmed Golden State, averaging 115 points per game on 47% shooting and 35.6% three-point shooting, to the Warriors 104.8 points per game on 42.5% shooting and 34.3% three-point shooting. To make matters worse, Curry was only averaging 23.5 points per game on 41.4% shooting and 31.4% from 3, averaging 4.3 turnovers a game. When your best player is showing inefficiency, especially if it's the most valuable player, it only makes sense that the Thunder would be beating the Warriors at their own game. However, it wasn't like KD and Westbrook were both playing exceptionally. Yes, they both averaged 29 and 28 points per game respectively, but KD was shooting 39.5% from the field and 27.8% from 3, with Russell Westbrook being the unsung hero, averaging 11 assists and shooting 36.4% from 3. Nevertheless, the Thunder took a commanding 3-1 lead after a 24-point win in Game 4. Remember what I said at the start of the video about being up 3-1? The Warriors would do the unthinkable and flip the series, with Klay Thompson birthing a playoff legend. In Games 5-7, the Warriors held the Thunder to 100 points per game, a 15-point drop-off. The Thunder proceeded to shoot 40.2% from the field and 28.7% from 3, with a 4-point increase in turnovers per game when compared to the first 4 games. The Thunder's efficiency plummeted while the Warriors rose. While KD continued to struggle from the field and with turnovers, Westbrook followed suit. Westbrook's scoring dropped as he proceeded to shoot 38.7% from the field and 23.1% from 3, while averaging 2.2 more turnovers per game and fewer assists per game. Curry and Klay, however, went nuclear. Curry averaged 32.7 points per game on 46.7% three-point shooting, also increasing his rebounds and assists. And Klay had one of the greatest single-game playoff performances of all time in Game 6, scoring 41 points with 11 threes, allowing for Game 6 Klay to debut. Klay was already having an efficient series, but his points per game jumped by 8 as his efficiency took an insane jump, shooting 52.3% from the field and an absurd 54.8% from 3. What looked like a thunderstorm turned into a light rain and rainbow threes, with the Warriors winning in 7, coming back from a 3-1 deficit. But isn't it funny how the world works? Over in the East, the Cavs were quietly having a great season, finishing first even after a head coaching change midway into the season. LeBron had another MVP caliber season as they easily dismantled the East in the playoffs, getting to the finals with a 16-2 record, sweeping their opponents in the first 2 rounds. So the matchup would be LeBron, Kyrie, and Kevin Love versus Curry, Klay, and Draymond. The Warriors were determined to prove that their championship win the previous year wasn't a fluke, as both Kyrie and Kevin Love were injured. That determination led to them leading 3-1 after 4 games. At that point, the Warriors contained LeBron and Kyrie, as they both averaged under 25 points per game on less than 44% from the field. It seemed like the Warriors would repeat, beginning a new dynasty. A dynasty that would compete with that of Michael Jordan's Bulls or Tim Duncan's Spurs. But remember when I said there was a coaching change for the Cavs midway through the season? David Blatt, who led the Cavs to a 30-11 record, was replaced by Tyronn Lue. Though Tyronn Lue had a worse win percentage that year when compared to Blatt's, the Cavs were much more cohesive, and Tyronn Lue was obviously a mastermind. After Game 4, Tyronn Lue decided to switch the game plan, targeting Steph Curry on the pick and roll, while freeing up the offense and allowing LeBron to take full control. This freed Kyrie to be a scorer, opening up both him and LeBron. Additionally, Lue strategically utilized Richard Jefferson at the 4 instead of Kevin Love at times when pace and switchability was needed. The result? Curry struggled with foul trouble, not allowing him to get into rhythm, as he proceeded to shoot 36.4% from the field in games 5 through 7. Meanwhile, LeBron averaged 36.3 points, 11.7 rebounds, and 9.7 assists on 53.3% shooting, co-starred by Kyrie's 27.7 points per game on 49.5% shooting and 45.2% three-point shooting. It also didn't help that in the final minutes of Game 4, Draymond got a series-changing technical foul, leading to him being suspended for Game 5 at home, allowing the Cavs to win and gain momentum. After a win in Oracle, LeBron and Kyrie smelled blood, and the Warriors were then in shark-infested water. LeBron and Kyrie both dropped 41 in Game 5, and in Game 6, LeBron did it again. Suddenly, the series was tied. The Warriors' offense stalled with a Game 7 on the way. Game 7, at Oracle Arena, everything on the line. What followed was one of the most dramatic games in NBA history. Klay and Steph combined for only 31 points, while Draymond erupted for 32 points, 15 rebounds, and 9 assists. But how can you win when your best players combined are getting outscored by someone who is not known for their scoring prowess whatsoever? In fact, that was Draymond's last 30-point game. Klay and Steph went scoreless in the final 4 minutes and 39 seconds. Then, Kyrie hit the shot of a lifetime over the unanimous MVP. 1. LeBron got the chase down block of all time. 2. And Kevin Love got the stop of all time. Game. Just like that, the greatest regular season team in NBA history didn't win the title. Instead, they became an answer to a trivia question. Who is the only team in NBA Finals history to blow a 3-1 lead? Kyrie wins the title, LeBron wins another Finals MVP, his legacy is cemented at the expense of the Warriors. Kevin Durant joined the following season. A super team was born. But the 2016 Finals, that collapse, it will forever haunt the dynasty that shortly began. And I believe that those 2 titles with KD will also haunt them, reminding them of what made them acquire KD, what made them feel that they didn't have enough. Sometimes, history changes in the blink of an eye. And for the Warriors, it only took 3 games.